Hi everyone, I'm Hailey and today we are going to be making carrot cake for Easter, or not for Easter if you don't want to make it for Easter. You can make this any time of the year, really. But this is not just going to be any normal carrot cake. This is going to be carrot cake stuffed with cream cheese with an orange cream cheese glaze. So lots of complicated ingredients. Hoping it's not going to be too complicated though. If you want to make this with me, you can check the description box ahead of time. I have all the ingredients in US and metric, so you can follow along. And I just want to say a big thank you to who gave me this recipe. It was my great aunt Sandy, another recipe from her. And so I think this recipe is going to turn out good too. Thank you so much, Aunt Sandy, and let's get started. So the first thing we have here is 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm just gonna pour that into a large bowl. Then we have 1.5 cups of granulated sugar and 1/2 cup of packed light brown sugar. And then we have a cup of finely chopped pecans. Now, we've got all of our little bowls of things over here. I have 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Then 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a tablespoon plus a teaspoon of cinnamon, so it's a lot. Then 1/2 teaspoon of allspice and 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. It's a lot of bowls. Now I'm just gonna whisk all these ingredients together until they're well combined. All right, now that the dry ingredients are mixed together, we're gonna set that aside. And I have a medium bowl over here, and I'm gonna pour 4 large eggs in. And we're just going to lightly beat up the eggs really quick. And then we're gonna pour in 3/4 cup of unsalted butter, melted. And then I have 1/2 cup of vanilla yogurt. And I have 2 teaspoons of orange zest. You can also use orange extract, but I'm just using some orange zest. And look, I have an orange bowl to match it. And then last but not least, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And now we're gonna mix all of these ingredients together. All right, now that we have our 2 mixtures, I'm going to pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. And I'm gonna use my spatula to stir these ingredients together until they're just barely combined. The next ingredient, the carrot. I accidentally spilled a little, but luckily it went into the bowl. The carrots are next. You can't have carrot cake without carrots, so we have 2.5 cups of grated carrots, and I'm going to stir those in. All right, the carrot cake batter is all done. The next thing we're going to make is the cream cheese filling. All right, so for the cream cheese filling, you're going to need a medium bowl or a large bowl. It doesn't really matter, I guess. And I'm gonna pour in 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, and then 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. And I'm gonna beat this together. All right, and once that's all mixed together, we're gonna add in 1 whole egg, 3 tablespoons of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. You failed me, vanilla. It was like coming out the side. Don't you hate it when it does that? Comment below if that ever happens to you. And the last thing you're gonna need is some lemon juice. You can use fresh lemon juice or you can use bottled lemon juice. I'm using real lemon juice, but it's not really real lemon juice. It's just lemon juice. Who knows what that means? All right, we're going to add a teaspoon of lemon juice. I did not realize that this is also a lemon cake. It's a spice cake and a carrot cake and a lemon cake and an orange cake and a cream cheese cake. Like, that's so much. And now we're gonna mix all those ingredients in. The question, can you make this by hand? The answer, yes. I have successfully made the filling by hand, I hope. Now, we have the bundt pan. I have this bundt pan. I have no idea what size it is. It says to use a 10-inch one. This might be 12, but I think we can make it work. So, this is so heavy. Need to do some arm workout. So, the recipe says to take 3 cups of the batter and put it in the bundt pan. So I'm gonna do that really quick and then I'll tell you what we're gonna do next. And I am using a measuring scoop to do this just because I want to make sure it's super precise. And it actually didn't say to use an electric mixer, it just said beat everything together. So technically I wasn't not following the instructions there either. And then once you have your batter in the pan, I'm just gonna spread it out so that it's nice and even. Oh, and by the way, I floured and I buttered and floured in that order. I buttered and floured the bundt pan before I put the batter in. It's very important to do that, otherwise it's just going to stick. And that would be so sad. All right, so now I'm gonna take my cream cheese filling and put it in the middle of the bundt pan, not the hole, the middle of the sides so that it's not touching the edges. I think I just dropped some in the hole of the bundt pan. Okay, I'm gonna finish this and then we'll see. Okay, so let's see what, oh my gosh. I mean, it's not a whole lot. I don't think we're gonna miss it. I said don't put it in the middle of the bundt pan, and I put it in the middle of the bundt pan. I'm just going a little crazy here. All right, so now we're gonna put the rest of the carrot cake batter on top of the cream cheese filling, and you wanna make sure you completely cover the cream cheese. And it's all ready to go in the oven. This is looking good. I think my pan was actually the right size, so that's good. I am going to bake this in my oven. That's how tired I am. I'm gonna bake it in my oven, you guys. Surprise, surprise. All right. I am gonna bake this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes, and then reduce the heat to 325, cover the pan with foil, and then bake it for an additional 25 to 30 minutes or until a toothpick inserted in the center, not the actual center, comes out clean. Whew, there's a lot to say. All right, I will see you guys when this is done baking. All right, my cake just came out of the oven and it actually only took 45 minutes. It didn't take the extra 25 minutes because I checked it after the 45 minutes just to make sure, and it came out clean because you're supposed to insert it near the center of the bundt pan, not in the center because that's a hole, but like kind of next to the center, and it came out clean. So while this is cooling, I'm just gonna set that aside, and while that's cooling, we're gonna make the lemon vanilla orange cream cheese glaze to go on top of it. All right, so I have my stand mixer, Sir Whiskington here to help me. And I have 4 ounces of softened cream cheese going in the bowl. And then next I'm putting in 2 tablespoons of softened butter. Might have softened mine too much, I do not know. Then we have 2 tablespoons of orange juice, 2 teaspoons of lemon juice, a teaspoon of orange extract, or you can use orange zest like I'm doing. And then I'm gonna add half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we are just gonna beat all this together until it's nice and smooth and creamy. All right, once that's nice and smooth, I'm gonna add in 2 cups of powdered sugar, and I'm going to sift it in so that it is very fine and there are no clumps in my glaze. I keep forgetting that it's a glaze, not a frosting. And now we're going to make snow. And if you don't have a sieve at home, it's totally okay. You can just skip this part. You don't have to find a different cake recipe in order to make this. It's just gonna be slightly clumpy if your powdered sugar is clumpy. Not all the time, but just a warning. I do definitely recommend getting a sieve though. I use it all the time. And then I'm gonna put this back on the mixer and beat it until it's smooth. There we go. And of course, don't forget to scrape down your bowl while you're mixing the frosting. All right, so I just finished making my glaze. This is what it looks like right now. And it says to refrigerate it for 5 to 10 minutes before you top it the cake with it. So that's what I'm gonna do. Cover this really quick. And there we go. All right, so while my frosting is cooling down a little bit, I am going to go ahead and turn out my bundt cake onto this cake plate I have right here. It's still actually really warm, but you're supposed to take it out of the pan so it can cool down faster. So that's what I'm gonna do. Got it onto the plate. Now you just bang it a couple times. This is what I always do with my cakes. I just bang them out of the pan. Works like a charm. So my cake's not coming out, but I'm gonna use a knife and I'm gonna loosen the edges a little bit, and hopefully that will help. Why don't you wanna come out of the pan? I've been working on this cake for like the whole night, and I want to eat it, but it won't come out of the pan. You won't get to me this time, cake. I got it. I got it. Okay, so you have to make sure you really loosen it on all the edges, otherwise it will not come out. Oh my goodness, it looks so moist and beautiful. I can't wait to try this. So I'm back with my glaze and I'm ready to put it on top. Now it's time to cut the cake. I finished frosting it. It smells good and it looks pretty good. I'm not saying it's gonna win the looks competition. It looks very homemade though, which is not a bad thing. I think it looks cute. It may not look like much on the outside, but on the inside, it's stuffed with cream cheese. And voila, here is the carrot cake stuffed with cream cheese with an orange lemon cream cheese glaze on top. You can see the cream cheese on top. Isn't that so cool? I guess I'll just start by eating just the carrot cake. We'll see how the carrot cake tastes by itself. Very, very moist cake. And the orange isn't too strong. I thought it was gonna be really strong, but it's not too bad. The frosting is like, it's like an explosion of flavors in my mouth. If you love carrot cake and like citrusy flavors and cheesecake, this is the perfect dessert for you. Let me know in the comments if you ever tried this recipe out, and let me know what you want to see me bake next. Thank you so much again, Aunt Sandy, for sending me this recipe. Super great. Definitely a success. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click the subscribe button. I think it's over here. And you can hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I post a new video. And I will see you next time.